Hey travel friends, it's Stoof here from Travel SzN. Welcome back to our channel. In November, we went on vacation to Scottsdale, Arizona, and we took a day trip up to Sedona during our visit. In this video, I'm going to share our itinerary for one full day in Sedona, Arizona. I'm also going to mention some other top-rated activities and attractions in Sedona that we didn't have time for on our one-day trip, but you may want to consider for your own travel adventures. Before I dive into this video, let me say welcome, thanks for watching. My name is Stoof with Travel SzN. If you like travel and nature-related content, please consider subscribing to our channel. Alright, so we started our day out very early, around 4:30 a.m. to drive 2 hours north into Sedona so that we could catch the sun rising onto the beautiful sandstone rock formations. The first thing on our to-do list when we made it to Sedona was to hike to Devil's Bridge. We started at the Mezcal trailhead, which features a large parking area and a few vault toilets. So if you need to use the restrooms before or after your hike, there are vault toilets at this Mezcal trailhead parking lot. We were visiting in November, so it was in the 40-degree Fahrenheit range in the early morning before the sun came up. It does get cold and snowy in the autumn and winter months in Sedona, so keep that in mind if you're planning your trip out there. The Mezcal trailhead parking lot does get full. Although it's a large parking lot, this is one of the most popular hikes in Sedona, so make sure you get there early if you want to park there to do this hike. I recommend getting there before 8 a.m. I have the coordinates for this trailhead and the hiking trail route via AllTrails linked in the description under this video. There are a few different route options that can get you to Devil's Bridge. But all of them are going to be moderate to challenging. This is not a hike for brand new beginner people that have a fear of heights, in my opinion. If you do have a fear of heights or steep drop-offs, or if you have small children with you, I don't recommend doing the last 2/10 of a mile of the way out to Devil's Bridge. We did bring our baby with us on this hike, but she wasn't quite walking yet, and we kept her in that backpack the whole time where she was secure. We're both experienced, avid hikers as well, and we're used to hiking on uneven terrain with her in that pack behind us. That last 2/10 of a mile is where there's a bit of a scramble to get up on a ledge for one part of it, and then the pathway does become a bit more narrow with a few drop-offs as you're going out to the bridge. That being said, it definitely appears much scarier from the viewpoint of Devil's Bridge, looking out at it, than it actually is standing on top of Devil's Bridge. If you're standing on top of Devil's Bridge, you have a good 5 to 7 feet of width at the most narrow section before the steep drop-off. So as long as you're comfortable walking on a 5-foot wide balance beam, you're going to be fine. If you were curious about what the terrain looks like that last 2/10 of a mile out to the bridge, here's what that scramble section looks like. It's basically steps, but may need to use your hands at some point going up this. I do think early morning is the best time to do this hike out to Devil's Bridge, in the autumn months at least, because the way the sun rises, the bridge is illuminated with light and that arch is more visible under the bridge. If you do this hike later in the day, then everything may be in shadow, both the bridge and the ground below it, and it looks a bit more flat. Either way, you will likely have to wait in line once you get out to this bridge before you get onto the bridge for that picture opportunity. After finishing up our hike on Devil's Bridge, we drove about a half-mile north to the Long Canyon trailhead. From the Long Canyon trailhead, we followed a social trail about 1 mile out, 1 mile back, up to the Birthing Cave. And I call this a social trail because it's not maintained by the Forest Service. As you get up closer to that birthing cave, this is a sacred area to the indigenous people, so please be respectful if you decide to go up here. There is very little shade on this hike, so I recommend doing this earlier in the day if you can. We were doing this later in the morning and it was starting to get hot. This trail also features quite a bit of cacti as you are starting to go up in elevation to that birthing cave. So be careful on the trail. If you go just a little bit off the trail, you might end up with an arm in a cactus. So be careful of that. Once you're up in the birthing cave, you have beautiful views looking out at the surrounding mountains. And it's pretty cool to be up close in this cave-like feature created from erosion of the sandstone. After wrapping up this hike, we were all getting pretty hungry, so we headed into town for lunch, where we all enjoyed delicious sandwiches and salads from Wildflower. This is a restaurant similar to Panera Bread, where they have like soup, salads, pasta dishes, sandwiches, things like that, but the quality of the food is fantastic. I had the best Chipotle chicken sandwich I've ever had. I highly recommend that, and my husband got the Reuben. He also said that was great. This restaurant features indoor and outdoor dining areas. One outdoor dining area is in the courtyard, and on the other side of the restaurant there's an outdoor dining area with a view looking out at the mountains. This courtyard area also features some small boutique shops, so we shopped around for a bit after enjoying our lunch, and then we headed back to the vehicle to Airport Mesa. We wanted to park at the Airport Mesa parking lot, which is a free parking lot that only holds 8 to 10 cars. Unfortunately, that lot was full, so we continued driving up the hill until we made a left turn into the very large parking lot with the Sedona Airport scenic overlook right across the street. This large parking lot has a $3 parking fee. There's an attendant in a booth as you're pulling in, so you do need to pay to park in that large lot. However, if you walk right across the street, you get that beautiful view of the surrounding mountains and the town of Sedona. There also is a very nicely labeled bronze statue which can identify all of the rock formations, peaks, and canyons in front of you. For example, this one is called Coffee Pot. Can you see it? So we spent a good 15-20 minutes in this spot just taking in the views and identifying the rock features in front of us. We then headed back to the vehicle. From this parking lot, you actually can walk a trail down to Airport Mesa if you would like to do that. We just got back in our vehicle and headed back down the hill. We were lucky enough to see an open parking spot at Airport Mesa, so we parked there, and then we started our hike up to the summit to take in some more beautiful scenic views. Airport Mesa is one of the #1 spots to catch the sunset from Sedona. On we continued with our day. The next stop for us was the 7 Sacred Pools. The Soldier Pass parking lot area where you can access the 7 Sacred Pools trail is very small. This is another one of the very popular hikes in the park because it's an easy hike that offers some stunning views. The parking lot is actually gated off and closed from Thursday to Sunday when you are required to take a shuttle here. So we visited on a Wednesday, the shuttle was not operating, so we basically had to either wait around for someone to finish their hike and get a parking spot, or we could go. So we unfortunately keep moving on with our day. We started heading south on the road out of town, where we made one final stop at the Bell Rock Trailhead. This is a short, easy hike. It's just 0.8 of a mile, 4/10 out, 4/10 back, and you can hike right up to the base of this large Bell Rock formation. There are other hiking trails in this area. You can actually loop all the way around Bell Rock if you'd like, but we just went out a bit and came back. to wrap up our day. So as you can see, we are avid hikers. We enjoy the hiking and nature experience. We had a very budget-friendly day trip to Sedona, where our only expenses were the Coconino National Forest passes that we purchased online to put in our vehicles prior to arriving. We also purchased the $3 parking fee near Airport Mesa. We bought lunch, and then we did a bit of souvenir shopping. So overall, we didn't spend very much. If you do have a larger budget and you're more interested in ecotourism and fun, adventurous activities, there are a lot of options for you here. Guidance Air offers helicopter tours. They actually have a helicopter and razor combo tour that is about a half day. There are several other helicopter tour companies you can look up yourself if you need to. There also are several ATV and UTV rental companies, including Arizona ATV. They offer 2-hour razor rentals for only $99 to start, so that's very reasonable. There also are several companies that offer off-roading Jeep tours, which look like a lot of fun. My family went out and did that several years ago. And if you've ever been to Sedona before, you've probably seen those hot air balloons rising up early in the morning. You can take a hot air balloon ride over Sedona. If it's something in your budget that you've wanted to do, that is an option for you in Sedona. Alright guys, that wraps up my video of our one day in Sedona, Arizona, and a sprinkle of some other options for you if you are planning your own trip to the area. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoy this type of content. Also, if you've been to Sedona before and you did something different than what we showed in this video, please let us know in the comments so that other people planning trips to Sedona can get ideas for things to do. Have a wonderful day and happy travels!